we consider them as great friends, and it's true. Both President Lula da Silva and Cyril Ramaphosa are my friends. But since they are given that task, and they believe strongly that they should engage and enhance this collaboration, but including trade and investments. So I see that as something very positive, although, as I've said, this has to continue. Is some immediate return, some medium term, some long term. By one more.
Aaron.
Yes.
Thank you, Dato Sri. Aaron Connolly from The Economist. I just wanted to ask you about the East Asia Summit yesterday. I understand that there will be no joint statement from the East Asia Summit because there could be no consensus reached, and that the United States blocked that joint statement. I just wondered if you could talk to us a little bit about Malaysia's efforts to try and bridge the differences between, say, Russia, the United States, China, and why that joint statement didn't come out. Thank you.
Notwithstanding what you have said, this is one forum where Russia was present, Myanmar was present, United States, China, and all the relevant stake players. You don't have regional meetings with their presence. Some meetings, if Myanmar comes in, the Europeans get out. Some meetings, if Russians come in, the others will not participate. But in the ASEAN-sponsored East Asia Summit, at least there was preparedness to engage and listen. They may agree, they may disagree, but that's the position taken. And the consensus ASEAN, within ASEAN, is to ensure that there is engagement. We should not stop engaging. Okay? And then, secondly, peace is to us critical. So if you say there are issues, for example, there was no clarity in terms of South China Sea, for example, the issue. I disagree. Because we all agree. ASEAN countries say, based on the code of conduct. Premier Lee Chang responded to say, yes, we should facilitate and accelerate the process and agreement on the code of conduct. ASEAN and all the relevant parties all agreed that this region should not be an area of contestation of superpowers. Their presence is accepted. We work with some maritime arrangements with the Americans, and there's traditional military exercise with Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore. We have increased activity with maritime collaboration with China. But that's how it should work, to my mind, you see. But with Malaysia, at least our maritime borders will never allow the presence of any military force, foreign military force, they will be deemed to be provocative against the rest, because it is inconsistent with our policy of centrality, of engaging with all. Do I answer your question? It's clear? Thank you. Yes. One final question, because I have a bilateral with Australia. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Sri, I wonder you can share with us what you and President Trump talked about during your ride from the tarmac to KLCC, and did he promise us anything on semiconductor, the tariffs, the sectoral tariffs, anything on that?
Well, I would say that, I did, on the lighter note, mentioned to him, because when he invited me, I said, because the security and protocol guys doesn't seem to look happy. Then he said, get Prime Minister Anwar in. So I went in. And then, of course, I need to know about the car. So that takes a few minutes. But, of course, I make full use of the opportunity to engage. And to President Trump's credit, he is also a good listener in these private engagements. He gives some views. I politely disagree on some issues. I mean, he wants to know, of course, about our relations with neighbors, particularly with China, and why I invited Brazil and South Africa, and I engaged. And on the tariffs, of course, I said 19% still high for us, but then he has now imposed a zero tariff on the major, our major facility, including our major export, semiconductor for now. I, of course, thank him for that. Then I spent some time discussing Gaza. He knew about, even my meeting with past Hamas leaders. And I explained to him why. I was in Doha. I know one or two of them. I decided to meet them and strongly urge them to support the peace initiative by the Arab neighbors, OIC. That was it. But then subsequently, one of them was killed in this Israeli attack in Iran. And I say, once I do support, and I think no one can dispute the fact that he was quite determined to ensure that this peace in Gaza stop the continued killings. But I said, if you talk about a lasting peace, a durable peace, that must be comprehensive. But of course, his answer is that, this is the first phase. We are working with it, working on it. He said, do I know Witkov? I said, I met him. We are taking it very seriously. It must not fail, is a problem. So I think I was in a fortunate position because firstly, he allowed me to have that foresight with him in private, in confidence. And I must confess that he listens very attentively and our views. And some, contrary to some of his earlier assertions. So well, people expect me to, what do you expect me to do? I think I did my best to represent the voice of conscience, what Malaysians want us to do. Now, if there's no opportunity, had he not been here, there would not be an opportunity. But at least there's a voice that he has to listen, And we repeated that in the formal. Of course, in the formal session, bilateral Malaysia and United States with President Donald Trump and within ASEAN, naturally I've got to be more guarded, right? I mean, this is diplomatic encounters like that. I wouldn't be as, I did spend, take it from me, Melissa, that I did my best to appeal to him to say that, look, the peace initiative must be comprehensive, must be durable, must be fair, ultimately. And of course, there are many things he said in private, which is to me enlightening, and of course, I was happy to hear that. But then these are private conversations between leaders, and you have to respect that. You start leaking phone calls like we did in the past, nobody will talk to you, or you leaking private conversations, they will not be done. So I'm just informing things that I think is something. Which is permissible. Okay, terima kasih banyak.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, Assalamualaikum.
And that concludes the press conference by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, marking the successful culmination of the 47th ASEAN Summit and related summits, an event that has strengthened ASEAN's role as a pillar of stability and partnership in the region. With that, thank you and jumpa lagi.